Okay, got batteries in, fluids are in, everything I think is back together. I'm just missing one plug that I'm gonna go check, and it's under here, under the dash. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime this thing up. I poured some down where the oil filter goes, but I'm gonna prime it up using this power wire that goes down to the starter. It connects right there, and you just put it on here. It sounds like crap, but I think it'll smooth out. My batteries are dying. Yep, I'm gonna have to get the charger out. Anyways, let me get that charger hooked up. We'll go from there. Well, I didn't have the camera set up and it fired off, and I forgot to hook my trans lines up to the radiator. So as soon as it fired off, it started running like crap, started puking out trans fluid. So we're gonna give it another shot. We'll check for leaks for other stuff now. I got nothing on my dash. I got no RPM, no fuel. I got no gauges. Sounds good though. My water temp's coming up, so I know it's getting a little heat on it. I don't have any exhaust, and I don't have a drive shaft, but I have a bullnose powerstroke. I think it's still got some air in it. I need to put some water in it real quick. I don't think my alternator's putting anything out. I got it. It's hard to see on this stupid thing. 11.5. Actually, it went down. I don't know why. I need to check that. I'm gonna shut it down. I don't know why it would be. That is a mess. Holy crap. I can't believe I forgot to do that. But I mean, it don't leak back here. It's still cool. It ain't. I don't think it's made it all the way. Plus, I need to fill that up. I need to figure out how much I dumped on the floor. Probably about, I don't know. Let's buy 3 quarts. God, it's smoky in here. All right, I gotta go. Okay, here's the problem I'm having. I have no cluster lights. No cluster at all, except for battery and airbag. You can hear injectors clattering, fuel pumps on, the truck will start. But I have nothing here, right? I've got headlights, but when the truck runs, I get nothing there. I can still hear the fuel pumps going. So the truck will run, but also AC stuff. Nothing there, right? No brake lights. You can hear the relay. So when I put my flashers on, there's nothing back there. Something, I don't know if it's the whole cluster or not. I'm not real sure. Everything was working when I tore the truck apart. That's what's weird. But yeah, no nothing. Anyways, maybe somebody knows what's wrong with this thing. I've tried messing with the connections. Got the steering column torn apart. I don't know. So a lot happened in this video. I got it fired off, but when it first fired off, I didn't have a cluster. No gauges, no nothing. It turns out I took this thing apart, which is the whole fuse panel. I unplugged all those, and then you can pop this first half. You take these little tabs and pop the top off. And one of these, I think it was the one that went back here or right there, had a corrosion spot. I just cleaned it up and put some dielectric grease on it, and I got the cluster back. That also gave me, because when the truck was running, the alternator was not charging, because the cluster sends a signal to the alternator. There's 2 wires on top of that thing. One stays hot and one receives a signal from the cluster. And so the alternator wasn't charging. I thought it was batteries, so I went and bought brand new batteries, which I'm glad I did, because the other ones were bad anyways. I think one had a bad cell or something. But so yeah, now the cluster works. I got everything. I didn't have anything but a battery light and I think airbag, so now it's got everything. Weight to start, the odometer, all the gauges. See, I got 1/4 of a tank. I mean, it's got everything now. And also, I didn't have any heater controls, which I do now. I have all the stuff all that stuff works. So all this is just sitting here loose. I need to put it all back together. But you saw in the video, it ran Turbo spooled up, sounds good. So I need to just go ahead and start putting it back together. And I need to do a test run. I need to run it on the street, but I need to bleed the brakes because I disconnected this line back here because I had to shorten it. And I filled up the fluid, but the pad, it's still spongy. So I need to bleed the brakes before I go for a ride. Bolt my seat down. I'm not gonna put the doors on it or the hood. I just wanna run it real hard. I did bring it up to operating temperature, about 190, and then the thermostat opened, kicked it down to like 187. So I topped off that. So I think everything's good to go. I just need to, what else did I do? I put the drive shaft in it, topped off the transmission fluid because it spilled everywhere. Yeah, I got the new one-piece drive shaft in, which sticker's upside down, but if you need to, you can call those guys CCI Driveline, and that cost me $667 and some change, delivered to my house. I think it's 3.5 inch, whatever. I told them whatever factory size is. They upgraded the U-joints, and this was 50 inches long, but it just came ready to bolt in. I didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to put any U-joints in or flanges. It all came together. So yeah, I put 5 gallons in it, ran it, just sitting here idling. So I need to put the cluster back in. I could put the dash plate back on that thing. But I'm gonna have to do some trimming. I can't put the doors on yet because this is where the weather stripping for the door goes. And as you can see, this hangs out. So I'm just gonna cut this. I'm gonna have to do some more trimming. And then I'm just gonna put a plate, like a piece of metal, and rivet it to the top or screw it or something. I don't really care. I may just leave it, but there's some little odds and ends I need to do. I need to order parts for the front end because the grill, I don't think the grill's gonna stay on if I go for a drive, so I'll just leave it like this. I'm just gonna go for a drive with no doors. Yeah, probably no seat belts either. Just, I live out in the country, so I will probably get pulled over, my luck. But I can finally take that off. Don't need that anymore. The cab's sitting down on it, but yeah, so it's just a recap. I don't know how much more I'm gonna get done with it, but it fires up, runs smooth. I mean, as soon as it fires up, there's no shaking. All those injectors run great. Alternator's charging. I mean, there's no leaks on it as of yet. The only thing I'm scared about leaking is I broke this little nipple off, and I had to tap that plastic and put a thread barbed on this side and threaded on this side. I don't know if it's gonna hold or not. I mean, nothing's leaking out of it now, so that's why I want to run it. I want to run it before doing all this, because if I got to pull that radiator, I'm gonna have to tear this whole front end apart, at least this part, the intercooler and all that stuff, and condenser back out. So anyway, so that's it. It runs now, at least idles and spools and sounds good and all that jazz. But yeah, next is I need to bleed the brakes and take it for a test drive. But let me know if you got any questions, and I appreciate it.